everyone. Welcome to Big LEZ'S League and all rugby league experience. Now, you saw on my page the other day, we had the idea of the All-Stars game, not Indigenous v Maori All-Stars, but at the end of the year, an All-Stars game similar to the NBA All-Stars. Chucked it on my page. And the Rugby League Lounge hit me up with a perfect idea to do a draft. And here he is with me. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm doing well, mate. Like a draft concept, if you're going to get me on a pod, this is the way to entice me. So very much looking forward to this one. And yeah, pleasure to do this alongside you, bud.
Yeah, super keen, mate. Super duper keen. So how this works, guys, if you don't know, it's very similar to what BKR Sport literally just did a few weeks ago. We're going to go one person at a time, doing picks. The Rugby League Lounge is going to go first. And we can pick coaches as well. So it's a 1 to 17 team. We're going to be picking coaches as well. And by the end of it, we should have some pretty sick teams. Now, I let Luke pick his either Nico Hines or Nathan Cleary, who are our captains. So the captains are already in play, just like the NBA All-Stars. He went ahead and picked Nico Hines, making things a little bit interesting. I nearly gave him Nathan Cleary there. But he decided to go Nico Hines. So I'm very lucky in that regard. I've got myself Nathan Cleary first up. So I'm going to let Luke pick his first player. Who have you got for your first player, mate?
Yeah, I thought I'd be, make things a bit interesting. Hines, and you did me a favor and made me have the first pick. So I really appreciate you for doing that one. James Tedesco is going to be my fullback.
Yeah, that's a good pick, bro. That's a good pick. I was so keen. I was like, please don't say James Tedesco. I was going to do my spine as well first. I think spine's the best way to do this one. So you've picked James Tedesco. I'm going to snag my 5'8" first. I'm going to snag my 5'8". I'm going to go Cameron Munster. Cameron Munster at 5'8". Lock him in early. I think that if I didn't, I think that would probably be your next pick or maybe down the track. So I'm going to lock him down straight away. I'm going to go Cameron Munster as my first pick, mate. Back to you. Who's your second pick?
Yeah, too easy, mate. Now, yeah, the Munster debate there. I'll just make sure I've got your pick in. I believe probably he is the next best player, or definitely in that conversation. But was kind of veering away from him, and I'm going to pick Tom Trbojevic as a centre.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
actually going to be my next pick, to be honest, but you've done well there. To Bojajovic. God, you couldn't have picked a harder name to spell, mate. But there we go. We've got Tom Trbojevic in there. In the centres. That's for you. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna keep going down the theme of spine. And I am going to go ahead and lock in my 9. I'm going to chuck Harry Grant at hooker. All right, I think that's the best way to go there. That way Harry Grant's locked in. I've got a pretty decent spine so far. Munster, Cleary, and Harry Grant. You've got Tedesco, Tom Trbojevic, and Nico Hines, though, just as dangerous. Who's your next pick?
Yeah, I'm going to keep going centres. I'm going to go Latrell Mitchell.
Oh, nice. Nice. I like it. Joel Mitchell there at...
I've still got fears as a Queensland fan from their dominance in 2021. So,
yeah, it's a fair enough.
Hopefully on the other side.
All right. This makes it a bit hard for me now. Looking at this one, am I going to go down the route of spine still? I probably am. Just want to pick which way I'm going to go here. I'm going to go a bit rogue here. I'm going to go for Ryan Pappenhausen at fullback. I reckon that's the way I'm going to go there. Pappenhausen. Really fast player, adds a bit of speed to my spine. You got the connection there with Harry Grant. Love that pick there. Had to go with Ryan Pappenhausen, mate. Who is your next pick here?
Yeah, got to bet Pepe there. Good pick. I'm going to go. I'm just looking at the dynamic of my team. I really am just falling in love with those ball playing locks these days. So Isaiah Yeo is going to be my 13, bud.
All right, lock him in. Isaiah Yeo.
Obviously not the sit and set spine, but like all the commentators have debate these days, basically it is a five-person spine now, depending on who your 13 is. And I think Isaiah Yeo is probably he is just that the trademark 13 that fits into that spine. So yeah, for me, it was a pretty easy pick actually.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm actually going to go down the same route here for my pick. I'm going to pick my 13 and lock him in now. Cameron Murray. I love a bit of a link man there in the 13 jersey, and it shores me up in defense as well. So I am going to go for Cameron Murray there in the 13. That pretty much locks in my spine. I've got Pappy, Munster, Cleary, Harry Grant, and Cameron Murray. That's pretty much what I was only worried about at the start, just locking in the spine. But yeah, nah, now that I've got that underway, I can start getting a bit into this one. Who is your next pick?
Yeah, I'm going to go probably a bit of an odd one here. Oh, there's two picks I'm weighing up here. And I'm just wondering, just trying to look into your mind and think where you might be, but what you might be thinking. But I think I'm going to go with the option here. Oh, just looking at your gaps. Look, I'm going to go with, yeah, I can't go past him. I think I'm going to go Jason Tamalolo as one of my front rowers.
Oh, I like it. I
A,
like.
rug, a rugby league guru special that one, but
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's perfect, mate. There you go. Tao Malolo. Perfect. All right. Let's have a look here. Do I go front rower? You know what? I am. I am because I'm surprised you didn't pick him in the front row. I'm going to go James Fisher Harris. I'll lock him down early as well. I'm going to get my forwards in, I reckon. So James Fisher Harris, I think, is the way to go there in the front row. Yeah, you're up.
I'm going to go with. I just rave about this guy. I think he has changed his position, and for me, he was the other guy I was tossing up, and I didn't want to give away, but these guys obviously two completely different players, but I think as yardage men, they're the same, and you can toss up who's more valuable, but Brian Toto as my winger, I really want him, and I think he's just yeah, for me, he was the one ringer I definitely want to lock in. So I'm going to put in Brian Toto as one of my wingers.
I like that. Brian Toto. God, you're really taking them all from me, aren't you? This back line is looking absolutely freakish, mate. Tedesco, Toto, Torojevic, Latrell Mitchell. Wow. All right. Let's have a look here. I might. Do I want to look up my forward pack now, or do I want to get someone in my back line? I'm going to go Josh Adokar on the wing, mate. I want to look up Josh Adokar because I think that he is going to be really pivotal for this side, the dynamic of this team as well. I love a bit of Josh Adokar on the wing, mate. I love a bit of speed. So I'm going to look up Josh Adokar there on my wing. Your pick now, mate.
Yeah, awesome. No, he's definitely probably the next winger in line for me too. Just trying to think. There's a bit of a risk. Do I want to take? Just wondering what you'll do. Now, I think I'm going to have to go with this guy. I believe I just really want this guy in my team because I think he is the best edge player in the game in terms of a second row. I got to get Viliami Kickout. You might have more players that do more yardage work, but for me, I just think he has just evolved as a really well-rounded second rower. So Kickout as my second row, bud.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Viliami kick out. I'm going to go down a simple idea, but I'm actually going to start stacking up my bench. Um,
Mm.
this guy has so much potential to be an absolute weapon, and we've seen glimpses of him as an absolute freak as well. I'm going to take David Fafita on the bench. I reckon I got to lock him up early, but I think he'll be so good coming off the bench in this team as well. I won't start him. I'll have him off the bench for me. David Fafita.
Nice. Yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, he's one of those guys when he's on, mate. So yeah, no, I can't argue with that pick there. I'm gonna get Payne Haas here as my other front row.
Oh, I like that. I like that. It really does suit the dynamic of your team as well, Payne Haas. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, no, that's good. All right. Who am I going to go for here? I feel like I really need to start stacking up this back line. Still need to get on the back rowers as well. A few bench spots I can go for. All right, I'm going to go into the centers. I can't believe you haven't gone for this guy yet. I'm going to go Joseph Manu in the centers. I'm going to lock him up. I reckon that's the go. Joseph Manu. Absolute freak. And I think he'll do a good job for my team here as well.
No, I cannot fault that pick. It was definitely someone I was eyeing up. Obviously, my centre spots are locked up, but Manu's so valuable even as a winger. You go in there and he's still probably the arguably the best winger in the comp, as we've seen in parts as well. So yeah, that one hurts because he was someone that I was just wondering how long you'd push out and see if I could take advantage there. But no, you swept them up. So now I'm just looking at my team. I'm just thinking my biggest needs. There's a couple obvious holes here, but I'm actually just going to take advantage here because I think there's 4 clear middle forwards here, and I'm going to steal Joseph Tapani as my bench front rower because I think for me
Oh,
you got
I
you
was
got
waiting
JT,
to
you got
see.
Haas,
Yeah.
JT Haas, James House, and I think the next one for me is Joseph Tapani. So I'm going to steal him on my bench, mate.
Oh, he was my next pick. He was my next pick as well. I was so keen on getting him. I wanted Manu though. It was either him or Manu for me. I was so keen to get him, but there you go. You've swooped him. Good one there. Oh, I'm gonna go. This is a bit risky. This is a bit risky because you could swoop someone again from me here. But I'm gonna take this risk. I'm gonna go Victor Radley off my bench. I'm gonna look up Victor Radley because I think he would be awesome coming off the bench here. He's just an absolute weapon. So Victor Radley off the bench for me.
I like that pick. Good pick, mate. Yeah. I think with Victor Radley, he's one of those guys. That's why I really want to get Isaiah. There's not many players like Victor Radley. So even though you might have some players, that you'd rate high, I think his skill set is very rare and needed. So now I'm just thinking I've got some holes here. I don't want to jump too early on positions where I think maybe, you're sort of that. So I'm just wondering what to do with this pick. I'm gonna actually put this guy on my bench because I think there is a slot there on the starting lineup, but I like his versatility and I think he can fill a few different roles. Isaiah Papali'i is going to come off my bench here.
Ooh, I like that. I do like that. Isaiah Papali'i. Yeah, no, that's an awesome pick, bro. That is an awesome pick. Coming off your bench as well, can cover the middle if you really need him to, the edge at lock forward. Absolute freak. Yeah, no, I like that one a lot. I do. I'm going to go down the route of my back row here. I'm going to lock in some back rowers. This guy, I reckon, is so underrated for the Parramatta Eels. He does such a good job in the back row for them, and his offload is just absolutely insane. I'm going to go and lock in Sean Lane. I'm going to lock in Sean Lane on an edge. Not someone that everyone would pick, especially in an All-Stars game, but I reckon he definitely deserves to be there. He is a weapon. And you look at the dynamic of this team as well. I'd love a cheeky little offload on the edge, offloading to a guy like Joseph Manu. That's just a given for me. I love that. So I'm going to lock in Sean Lane there on an edge.
Beauty, mate. There's a position here where I think I should steal this guy because you've got 2 slots where you could potentially put him. There's kind of a couple guys to be happy with, but I think overall this is my number 1 pick in this slot. Valentine Holmes on my wing.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Oh, God. Oh, I should have chucked him in the centers. Oh, well. That's nice. That's good. That is a sick back line. Tedesco, Toto, Travojevic, Latrell, and then Valentine Holmes. Wow. Wow, that is a back line. That's heavy. All right, that's pretty good, mate. That's pretty good. I like that pick. I'm going to go down the route of centers as well, picking a guy somewhat out of position. Some may argue not, but I'm going to chuck Jackie Whiten in the centers. I'm going to lock in my centers. I'm going to pick Jackie Whiten. I think that he's a guy that I really had to lock in there. You could have chucked him in your 14 as well. And I think defensively, that shores up one of those edges there. Jack White and Joshua Okar, pretty decent combination there. Played together in the All-Stars game as well. So a familiar combination. I love that pick there, Jack Whiten, and I just needed to shore up those centers, mate, before you snaked any more of my players. So Jackie Whiten there in the centers. Your pick, you're up.
Yeah, nah, very good pick, mate. I didn't think I was going to get this guy, but I'm just looking at a few what you're missing. I don't even know if you're going to pick this guy, but I'm just looking at the balance of my pack, and I think in terms of guys that you might snap off me, and this guy was the man of the series for Origin. Pat Carrigan is going to be my last bench slot here as my 17. Not a guy I was going to come in here and think I was going to get him today, but I'm just looking at where my other slots fill, and there's a lot of options that I'm happy with. But Pat Carrigan, I think, fills a bit of a void there for me, a bigger body. And I just really rated him in this role for Queensland. So for me, probably seems like an early pick, but I'm just happy with a few of my options in my other spots. So I'm gonna go Pat Carrigan.
Wow, that's big. That is a big, big pick. I nearly forgot about him as well, Paddy Carrigan. So a pretty good pick there. I'm just sussing out who I'm going to put in my other front row spot because there's a lot of guys I could pick. I've already got the link man in the middle, so there's a guy that I'm sort of chucking up, but I don't know if I will pick him. I do want a bit of size, so it's something I like. I know I've got David Fafita coming off the bench. I do like a little bit of size. I'm going to go. And this guy was out for most of the season last year, or pretty much the whole season with an injury for the Melbourne Storm. I'm going to go for Christian Welsh in my
Good
front
pick.
row. Really, really underrated player. I think people forget how good Christian Welsh is, particularly because, again, he was out for the whole year last year. But I think that he really does round out this team in terms of the forward. So I'm going to go Christian Welsh there in the front row. I know he was out for most of the season, so again, a bit of a controversial one. But I'm really liking Christian Welsh there. Really liking Christian Welsh there in the front row. Your pick, mate?
Yeah, I've got options here. I've kind of been leaving this one alone because I'm a bit in two minds how I want to deal with it because there's kind of a spanner I want to throw in the works, but I just don't know if I'm going to take that risk here. I'm just wondering. I definitely want to get this guy. I just don't know what I want him as at this stage, but I think it will be safe because it won't matter too much. I think I'm going to get, and you probably there's a chance you might get him as your utility. So I'm going to get Ben Hunt as my 9.
Oh, I like that. Ben Hunt. Lock him in. Love it. Ben Hunt at 9. All right. Pretty good there. Pretty good pick. And he does a lot of there for you at 9 as well. Some would argue a better 9 than a 7. So, yeah, good pick there. I need a back rower and a winger. I'm not too worried about my 14 because there's a lot of options I can go down there. I'm not too worried about my other bench spot either. What do I go for is the question. Just off the top of the cap, there's a lot of good wingers that we haven't talked about yet. There's also a lot of good centers I could just chuck on the wing. You know what? I'm gonna lock in a back row spot. I'm gonna leave the winger spot, and a bit risky, I know, but I'm gonna leave that spot for now. I'm gonna go in the back row. I'm gonna lock in Jeremiah Nanai in my back row. Think that he'll do a good job. Still young, but an absolute freak and Cleary can just put up some high kicks for him, and he will absolutely squander every single one of those and score a few meat pies for this team as well. So Jeremiah Nanai in the back row, and that pretty much sorts out my forward pack. Pretty decent forward pack there, mate. Christian Welsh, Harry Grant, James Fisher-Harris, Jeremiah Nanai, Sean Lane, Cameron Murray, looking pretty damn good so far. Your pick, mate. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with my risky option here. Well, I wouldn't even call it risky option because the player I've got in mind, I'll let you know at the end of the podcast. But I'm going to get just looking at a bit of a trend here, and I'm going to get Epi Coruscant as my 14.
Oh, a 9 to 14. I like it. I like it. Yeah, that's really good then. That's really good because I don't think Ben Hunt would be playing 80 minutes. You chuck on Happy Coruscant, Ben Hunt can go into a sort of roaming role. I do like that. I do like that. You're going for a bit of the Queensland theme almost here. I do like it. Looking at my team, I want to sort of put the icing on the cake in terms of the starting team. I would have loved to have had Valentine Holmes, but you took him there. So there you go. Yeah, no, I'm really contemplating here. I really don't know what I'm going to go for, what I'm really looking for here. But, I've gone down the theme of speed. Now I'm going to go down the theme of absolute sheer strength. I'm going to go for Selwyn Cobbo. Selwyn Cobbo on the wing, and that rounds out my starting team. Bit controversial there, and a young bloke. But, I really do like him here on the wing for this team and looking like a pretty decent team altogether in that starting team. I've got the 14 and the 17 left to round out the bench. You have to go your 6 and your 12 to finish off your team, mate. So I'll let you get that pick underway.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my coach here, Craig Bellamy.
Oh, sharing up the coach. I like it. Good coach as well, especially with the dynamic team that this is. He could take this team a long way, mate. I love it. Craig Bellamy. Yeah, controversial call there, mate. Controversial call. Yeah, no, that gives me a few options here. 14. I'm just trying to think of guys that can come in and fill multiple roles. Okay, now this one's going to be a bit controversial as well. Again, another guy that was out for most of the season, but I am going to take him. And look, you picked a guru special before. I'm going to pick a little bit of a guru special here as well. I'm going to go for Scotty Drinkwater.
Oh, not who I thought you're going to get. Yep. No, all cool.
Scotty Drinkwater in the 14. I like that because he can cover a few options. Obviously, he can play 6, can play 1, 7, 9 if you really need him to, maybe even a roaming role. Can cover a bunch of positions there. So Scotty Drinkwater's my go there in the 14. Your picks up, mate. You need to go and get either a 6 or a 12.
Yeah, okay. All right. I believe I'm going to shore up the spot now. Oh, no, I don't need to do that. I'm going to make sure this is probably a weird one, but I think he's probably not the most talented guy available here. But I think in terms of creating a team, I think he's going to be a good bodyguard. I think he is going to run the right lines for Hines. I think he's just proven for the Kangaroos how valuable he is. I'm going to go Liam Martin as my right second rower.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's nice. Liam Martin. How did I go past Liam Martin? All right, there you go. Now all you need is a 6. I'm going to shore up this bench. I do need a bit of size. This is the one thing that I need, a bit of size coming off the bench. I got Fafita, but I do need a sure front rower. I just need one front rower to come off the bench, and then that will do me. And I've got a few guys in mind. There's 2 guys I'm sort of going in between. But I am going to go for an absolute weapon in the front row. Got a bit of offload about him. Will really go well. Origin proven as well. Junior Paulo. I'm going to chuck in Junior Paulo to round out this bench here. Big boy, sure front rower, cheeky little offload about him. So I'm going to chuck him in there, and that rounds out my team. All I need now is a coach. And all you need now is a 6, mate. Who is going to be the 6?
There's actually a lot of options here. Probably everyone's probably thinking like you said, how important the spine is, and that is very obvious. But it was like you got Munster early, and I didn't see you stealing anyone in particular. I'm weighing up 3 players here. So Burton's the first one I'm going to rule out. I love Burton's probably my favorite one out of the slot, but just going to rule him out just because he's a little bit newer to the position. Jerome Luai is the other one I'm thinking about here too, and a lot of that comes down to he's had success at New South Wales level. He's played with a lot of these guys, so it's him or Cody Walker for me. And I just think with the combination with Latrell, I am going to, and obviously Luai's paid there as well. I am going to go with Cody Walker as my 6 here.
Oh, wow. I honestly thought you were going to go for Jerome Luai there. I did. I thought you were going to snag Jerome Luai or Matt Burton, but Cody Walker, I like it because obviously they do have the combination together as well in the halves. Nico Hines and Cody Walker played together only yesterday.
Yeah.
I need my coach, and then we are pretty much done and dusted. I'm going to go for Trent Robinson here. Proven successful coach, and gets the best out of everyone around him as well. So Trent Robinson's going to be my coach, mate. I'll get you to read out your 1 to 17 and your coach for me.
Sweet as, mate. Okay, at fullback, I've got James Tedesco. Brian To'o is my winger with Latrell Mitchell and Tommy with my turbos. Sorry, with Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic as my centre. Then we've also got Holmes on the other wing. We've got Cody Walker and Hines as my halves. In the front row, Tamalolo and Payne Haas with Ben Hunt in the middle there as my hooker. Kick out and Martin on the edges. And I'm rounding out my Penrith back row here with Isaiah Yeo. Continue with that theme. Epi Carousel as my utility. Joseph Tarpany, stoked to steal him from you as my 15, 16 Isaiah Papali'i, and 17 Pat Carrigan and Craig Bellamy is my coach.
Yeah, I thought Craig Bellamy was going to chuck on a jumper then. I was a bit. So
did I.
Craig Bellamy returning after many, many years on the sideline. But no, that's an awesome team, bro. Awesome team. For me, I have Ryan Pappenhausen at fullback, Selman Cobbo and Josh Adokar on the wings, Joseph Marnie, Jack Whiten in the centres, Cameron Munster and Nathan Cleary in the halves, Christian Welsh and James Fisher-Harris in the front row, Harry Grant at 9, Jeremiah Nanai and Sean Lane in the back row, Cameron Murray at lock. And then I have Scott Drinkwater, David Fafita, Victor Radley, and Junior Polo on the bench there with Trent Robinson as my coach. Guys, let me know if you picked anything similar. Leave your teams in the comment section below if you're watching on YouTube. Let me know what side you would pick in this draft, who your captain would be as well, and who your coach would be as well in these sides. Let us know if you picked anything similar, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts. But Luke, thanks for joining me, mate. It was an absolute blast. We picked some pretty decent teams.
Yeah, my pleasure, mate. This is really good fun. Always, it's always one of those things you see other people do. It's like, oh, I could have picked a better team. Well, we had the proof was here now. Let's see what the fans think. And pleasure, mate. And cheers for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, totally. Let's see whose side takes the cake here, Big Les or the Rugby League Lounge. Thanks, guys, for watching. Let us know who had the better side, and I'll see you guys in the next one.